Not only I'm gonna discuss journaling itself, but I will also share the ultimate tips for English grammar to help you start writing from today. Hello again, everyone. This is Michinatsu. You might already know that I love writing. This is my 2024 diary / schedule from Muji. It's been great, I guess. Anyhow, I'm sure some of you are interested in journaling. However, you might have trouble sticking with it, or probably you are sort of hesitant because thinking is something only those people do. Those people who only talk about, work ethos or waking up at 4 and do yoga and stuff. But you don't have to be one of those people. In this video, I'm going to share my love for writing and the surprising results with all of you guys. Additionally, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to share some easy and ultimate tips for English grammar, especially if you want to start writing in English. Don't miss out. Stay tuned until the end of this video. As always, if you have got any questions, comments, please let me know. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you're more than welcome to as well. Alright, let's get right into it. Firstly, let's talk about what English journaling is exactly, just for real quick. It's essentially keeping a diary to promote your personal growth or reflection. Actually, it's not only about writing your emotions, but you can share your goals or things that you're grateful, or it can be like what you have learned in work or like self-development or something like that. So basically, it's got a broad meaning in journaling in English. So simply, keeping a diary can be journaling. Personally, even though I'm a person, who talks about English and this kind of thing, I don't necessarily think that everything has to be written in English for studying purposes, because my journal is a complete mixture of English and Japanese. For example, this page here, Japanese here and English here. So personally, I found it easier to express my feeling and sort of write down my emotions in my native language. From my experience, let's talk about the benefits of journaling. And the first benefit is definitely, it's no joke. It's not a joke, but dreams come true. I remember writing this in a notebook that my friend gave me around high school graduation. I want to work in a 100% English environment, even though it took like flipping 10 years to come to this point, but it did come true. What's surprising is that at that time, working in an English environment seemed nearly impossible, like more than impossible for me. Even with subtitles, sitcoms or even like kids TV shows, I couldn't keep up with it. I would say I understood probably only like 3%, which is quite bad, right? However, by pursuing my dream, the impossible became possible, right? There are other things, like I was looking at my journal from like a few years ago. There was my writing saying that I want to get a job that people appreciate my skills and passion. I'm feeling very humble, but I'm so happy to do this for a living. There's a story that I love, drilling a speech by Matsushita Konosuke. In a business conference, he said, to manage a company, you should make reserves. So you should spare some water. So when the business is not going well, you should use that spared budget or, some sort, right? A lot of businessmen disagree with it. Like people started saying like, oh, many of us are struggling, and especially small companies, we don't have enough budget. What do you want me to do? Then Matsushita Konosuke said this quietly, but you have to think. Despite a lot of criticism from other businessmen, there was a guy who took that quote like a life-changing words. He thought, oh, what Matsushita Konosuke tried to say was thinking is important. Think first. Actually, the guy was Inamori Kazuo, who is the founder of Kyoto Ceramic. I love the story because if you don't think, it won't happen. That's why you think first and write it down on the paper. It's a powerful combo. Again, in my case, my dreams came true in a shape that I never expected at that time, but I believe it came true because I thought about them and they worked as like a constant reminder there for me. It's your dream. That's what I want. That's what I think. So even now, I believe that what I think will come true. The second one is by journaling, you can make essential self-reflection time. What I recommend is shutting down all the distractions such as your phone and your laptop or even like radio, because journaling time is your time alone. As I said many times in my videos, I think as grown-ups, it becomes only challenging to take time only for ourselves. Like we get caught up in daily chores or distractions in general, like social media posts. So we tend to put our feelings or like thoughts, aside or even like last, right? So that's why grown-ups need to start journaling. Like it's your time, just only for yourself. I think by writing down, you can sort of like remind yourself what you want from life, what you love, what you don't like. We need to take this time every now and then for sure. And I think journaling is such a great opportunity to take that self-reflection time for yourself. Last but not least, expressing yourself increases happiness. From my personal experience, I had a time that I was too depressed to function. I did a bunch of research by myself, mental health and well-being, and I found out that when you're feeling down, what you need to do is output and be creative. Because when we are tired, I think we tend to go like something easy. Passive entertainment such as watching TV or checking your Instagram and stuff. It's easy and it's fun in a sense, but do you think it actually recharges your energy or it makes you feel happy? I don't think so. It doesn't work that well. When you're feeling down, what I recommend, especially from my depression experience, I think what you gotta do is take action. Just put yourself a little bit out there. You want to do something small, even like cooking, crafting, or playing the instruments. It's fine too. And writing is so powerful. Writing, you don't have to be a professional writer, but writing down what you think, how you feel, and what happened in your day. This creating something, basically you're putting out your thoughts in words. I think it works for your mental health and it actually contributes to your happiness. And now let me briefly talk about what I recommend. What I write in my journal. I wish I could show you everything. I can though. The most important thing to write down is, I think, what I want to achieve in my life. I do this every month, actually. It's an important reminder. Also, I do it when I feel stuck. You don't even know how you're feeling right now. Like you're not happy for sure, but you're not very sad, you're not upset, but something is not settled very well. When I'm feeling that, I try to go to my journal and write down what I want to achieve. Of course, it's good to write down your feeling, but instead I try to put down what I want to achieve in life, because it helps me to go back on the right track. It doesn't have to be like I want to go to Sydney University or something like that, but even like small things such as I want to stay healthy, I want to be beautiful, I want to feel beautiful, or I don't know, I want to make $2,000 savings or something like that. Just small thing is fine. Writing down whatever you wish, that matters. And the second thing is, according to what I want to achieve, I write down the list, to-do list by bullet points. I do it daily, like as you can see here. Especially I love Muji one because one side is like this, the other side is like a free space, so you can write anything you want. Here's one thing that you have to be careful. Some research shows that by writing down your tasks, actually a lot of people get satisfied with the act itself. So when you write down, you feel like you already accomplished it, so you actually don't get the things done. What I usually do is, again, I write a small box there. When I get the thing done, I tick the box. It actually feels better and I can check if I actually did it or not. The next one is my favorite, actually. Things I would love to do if I don't have to worry about money. The key here is you gotta be ridiculously honest with yourself. Go nuts, like write down your wildest dreams. It's your time. You can write down anything. By doing this, I think you get to know who you really are and what you really want from life. They don't have to come true necessarily, necessarily, but by writing down, I think you get to know what you really want from life. I do recommend that and do it today. Next things I'm grateful for today. Gratitude is so important. Obviously, gratitude contributes to your happiness a lot as well. I write down stuff that I feel grateful. It can be something small, such as I have this house. It's not my own house, but I feel safe and comfortable. I love to say my gratitude for my hometown because that made who I am now. Of course, I'm grateful for my family, friends, partner, and people who supported me in my entire life. I love doing this every now and then. And the next one is write down favorite quotes from books or the internet, or even like from videos. I'm such a nerd for words, I would say. I love words and I get heaps of inspiration and even motivation and energy from words. Recently, I found a simple but striking quote from a book. That is 習慣に正解はない. So deep. And the other one is okay, this is in Japanese. Okay,仏教徒になる必要はありません。良い生き方をすればいいのです。There are so many books full of quotes, and if you go on the internet, I think there are heaps of websites share beautiful words, so you should check them out. The next one is I write down what kind of woman I want to be in the future. If you are a man, of course you can do what kind of man you want to be and stuff. It's gonna be free, like be yourself, right? But because, you know, I'm getting older, I can't go back to my youth. I can't keep whining about, you know, aging, right? But instead, I want to set a goal, like what kind of person I want to be. But I think there are other areas that I can sort of improve and I can be better at, or even like be grateful for, right? So yeah, it's more like, I know it's sort of like a goal, but specifically what kind of person do I want to become? I think it's a great question, and we probably should remind ourselves like every now and then. The last one is reflect on things that I'm currently struggling with or worried about. I think it's okay to be sad or feeling upset in life. Like, it can't be helped. I think it's totally natural. When I'm feeling sad, instead of like being in a deep hole, I try to put it down. Sometimes I can't find a solution, but by writing down, I can at least be aware of what I'm struggling with. The funny thing is, sometimes when I'm writing, I just get to feel like, oh, actually, I should do this. Oh, I don't have to worry about this. Oh, to solve this problem, I can do this, and something like that. I get some ideas. Putting out emotions, I think it's an important sort of ritual or I don't know, habit or whatever it's called. I do recommend that. I love doing it. Pick what you like, and I think it's the best to start with Japanese first because it's our native language, and putting out our feelings, we have to be, you know, honest with ourselves 100%. So, but if you are interested in writing in English, I would love to talk about starting a journal, probably a diary, because it's easy. I think it's easy to start first. Firstly, writing a diary in English has a couple of benefits. Benefit number one is you can make strong connection between words and events/feelings. The second one is you get to realize what you don't understand. One of the essential things that you have to understand or even remember if you want to be fluent in English is to connect English words and expressions with emotions in real life, or even like situations in real life. IRL, that's the most important thing. In journaling, I think what you do first is think. I mean, try to get the image of what happened in that day, or try to rewind your feelings, you know, how you were feeling that day. For example, when I say park, what do you get in your head first? If you get the image of a park, just random park in your head, well done, good on you. What we did in school a lot is translating. There is a Japanese sentence that you have to translate perfectly. perfectly right. You'll get to know soon that actually in English or even like in Japanese, there are so many different ways to express even one situation. This is my personal opinion though. One of the reasons why we Japanese have to struggle with English, especially daily conversation, is we want to be a perfect translator. For example, omo, right? Omo. You can say think or reckon or could be guess as well. But what I feel is people seem to discuss the differences between think and reckon endlessly. People go like, oh, the nuance of reckon is this, when native speaker uses reckon, that means like this and that, so you can't use think and something like that. But do you want to know what happens in the end? People choose silence. It's not like they don't know what to say. They kind of know what to say, but they just get caught up with useless correctness and dilemma, and that's my opinion. In writing a journal, there is no correct answers. There are only options. If you make a little mistake in grammar, it's completely okay. It's an experience. We are learning right now. The worst scenario will be you stay in silence. That's the worst thing, and I tell you because I was like that before. But secondly, understanding what you don't know is also important in English learning. Rather than being passive, such as you wait for someone telling you all the grammar rules and vocabulary that you have to use, I think this active learning, like you want to say something but you don't know, so what you gotta do? You have to do research. You have to search the meaning. Now, because writing a diary can be a bit tiring for you guys, so I have created a simple template for all of you guys. There are only 3 topics that you have to write. The first one is what you did today, and the second one is your feeling, like how you felt that day, and the last one is positive affirmations. Hello again. I'm sorry it has been such a long video. I had to take a tiny break. So as you can see now, it's in the evening, isn't it? I think it's better because we are going to talk about grammar from now on, which can be quite intense. So we need this chill vibes, right? I like it. Alright, what did I miss? In this video, I want to share with you one essential tip for English grammar. Of course, you can apply to English conversation as well. What I'm going to show you today is incredibly simple, yet many people still struggle with it because people understand it intellectually, but many don't internalize it. Today, I will not repeat all the grammar rules because you guys heard about them enough from different videos and people, textbooks, or even like expensive English courses. Did you see that what they talk about is basically the same because grammar is just grammar. Through journaling, I want you to promise me something. Promise me that you will internalize what I'm gonna say in this video. Are you guys ready? So here it is. To achieve an English brain, what you need is the desire or even the itch to want to state the subject. So, why is it important? For Japanese speakers, for us who often exclude the subject depending on the context, this can create additional stress. It basically hinders the process of constructing sentences in English. For example, how would you how would you say in English? In this context, Japanese speakers naturally understand the subject from the situation or the context spoken in the past. However, in English, the subject needs to be stated. In English, I would go, we are going to start the meeting at 3, or the meeting starts at 3. Those two sentences are different, but both have got the subject. Both show the fact that the meeting starts at 3. For another example, how would you say in English? Probably I would go, Sarah got fired. She looked sad. Even though it's ridiculously obvious that we are talking about Sarah. She refers to Sarah. You still need to state the subject. No matter how obvious the subject is, you still need to say the subject because That's how English works. Here's another interesting example, which is my favorite. When talking about the weather, native speakers often say, it's sunny. You could say the weather is sunny, but it is commonly used because nothing else can be sunny or cloudy. But still, you need the subject because, again, this is English. Let's make some sentences together. If you want to say, 公園に行った, I don't want you to think about like using the past tense or other grammar rules. What I want you to think first is, who is the main character? Who went to the park? I went to the park. 今日は楽しかった. Today was fun. It's not wrong, but if you want to go more like a natural English sentence, I would go, I had a fun day. Or I would say, I had a nice day. Expressing I had a fun day, right? Here's one of the reasons why when you watch or read contents in English, the translations are a little different. In many cases, they put a different subject. They change the perspective. But in the end, the meaning is similar. That's why in journaling, there is no correct answer. They are only options. Here's also another reason, why I believe we should not translate directly, because words are strongly influenced by its grammar rules. So what I would recommend is when you imagine a situation, what you did today or how you felt today, what I want you to think first is who did that? Who felt that? You have to think the main character, which is gonna be the subject. So let's move on to a more advanced one. Some of you might feel that your sentences sound a bit childish because you keep saying I did this and I, something like this. In such cases, what you gotta do is change the subject. Change the perspective. For example, I took Kurotan for a walk. I can say Kurotan and I went for a walk. My mom told me to study. I was told to study by my mom. It makes sense, right? Let's look at another example. I struggled to run for 10k. It was hard for me to run for 10k. Did you see? The subject is always there. Whether you use I or it and explain the content with an infinitive, the subject needs to be included. I went to the shopping center. It was a shopping day for me. It was sunny in Melbourne. Melbourne was sunny. So using simple grammar rules, but there are so many things that you can express, right? They are only options. Enjoy writing. I wanted to talk about this today because I feel like this sense, I want you to want to state the subject first. This sense is so important, but school doesn't teach us. It's such an important trick to be able to speak English. When you write a journal, be aware of the subject. Pay attention to the subject. Think, who is the main character? What's the main thing in the sentence? This is one tip to be able to speak English and start it from today. Alright, lastly, I want to talk about affirmations. It's more for your motivation. One thing that you have to do is you have to state your dream in the present tense because it helps you to feel like your dreams or goals are already real. It feels like it already came true. I recommend this book. It's written by Miranda Carr. Miranda is not going to say something wrong, is she? It's full of beautiful affirmations. I still read them every now and then. And there are also so many websites with beautiful, motivating affirmations. So probably you want to copy them first. And if you can, you want to make your own affirmations. I believe in the power of journaling. Actually, a lot of my dreams came true because I kept thinking about it. Whatever you think, whatever you can imagine, it will come true. Might not be tomorrow, but might be 10 years later. But still, it's a dream. Anyway, we can do this. We realize our dreams together. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you've got any questions, comments, please let me know. Leave it down below there. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you're more than welcome to as well. All right, see you in the next video, guys.